A new threat has appeared, a kaiju. How well they take it. Dan Season 2, Episode 11. I can't even blame them. Even with their powers, they're still screaming and running away. Now, while they're running, Ken is talking about how this is a space kaiju, no weaknesses that he knows of, and it's just really funny watching this giant kaiju follow them from behind. But on the bright side, this thing is so big that even Aaron notices it. Soon after, Gigi comes running over to tell her that everyone ran away, and he doesn't know why. He thinks he did something, but it's funny because it's pretty apparent that there's a giant thing there, and I guess Gigi's so dumb he doesn't notice it. I'm just playing. I still love Gigi. Era has this bright idea to go and find Momo so they can group up. Of course, when Era and Gigi are looking for them, they come over with their big problem. Just their faces when they say the kaiju. As everyone was about to run away together, suddenly we come to a stop and it goes into slow motion. This kaiju takes its foot up, and slowly it's about to put it down and stomp against the ground. As we resume back like normal, we get to see Pervy fall down. There on the ground, he needs help, and Momo's the only one there. He was about to get crushed by this kaiju's foot, when all of a sudden we thought just Momo was going to be helping. No, it ended up being Era, Momo, and Ken who runs in and actually retrieves him. As we come back from the opening, we get to see that Era and Momo are fighting over who's the leader. They tell Gigi to take Pervy and go to her house. They're gonna regroup later, and now Era, Ken, and Momo, of course, are gonna try and fight this kaiju thing. Mainly, we get to see Era trying to hit this thing. She hits it with a hair attack, but it doesn't really do much. Then she wraps her hair around its head and tries to throw it over, but it kind of resists that. The horns of this kaiju switch around, facing towards its face, and a surge of electricity follows this. With this charged electricity, it starts shooting it out like a laser. As the kaiju shooting this electricity, you have Era that's in hiding, Ken and Momo who are trying to run away, who almost get hit by this bit of electricity backlash. As the giant creature lets out a roar, Era jumps out of hiding and says, "Listen here, you should be more mindful of time and place." She grabs a car and knocks this thing right in the face. This is a really good hit, but it doesn't knock the monster down. So, Era tells Momo and Ken to go and take care of the legs. Momo does not like getting bossed around by Era. She takes his car and throws it right into the leg of this kaiju, and it starts wobbling. It's fallen over, however, now it's fighting with its tail. The kaiju manages to get off. However, Era has took control. She holds on to this crane as well as a building. Using leverage, she whams it right into the head of the kaiju. After Era gets this big hit in, she turns around to go and brag to Momo. Suddenly, this kaiju yet again has found its footing, but this time it grabs her. The kaiju started to open its mouth. It was gonna eat Era, but all at once, Momo launches a sign at the side of its face. She keeps throwing these signs at this kaiju, and it's like, bro, stop, you're doing zero damage. Era, using her hair, is able to muscle her way out of the kaiju's hand. Like the theme always, Era and Momo yet again are fighting. This time it's about Momo not doing any damage. Era is able to disappear, this kaiju is looking for her, and along the way it's destroying a lot of buildings. In this rage state, it starts shooting its lightning cannon, and it ends up hitting near Ken and Momo. As the two of them fling upwards, we get to see this lightning randomly hit towards them, so Momo shields both of them. While Momo is still shielding this beam, it looks like the kaiju increases the power by a bit. And at the same time, we get to hear Ken talking, and he says this: "Perhaps that kaiju is the descendant of a dinosaur." As Ken goes on, he suggests that maybe it's evolved in space, as well as maybe it converts an unknown cosmic energy into electrical energy with that horn. Now here's the brainstorm. If we can get it to a light source, we might be able to stop it. So while they try to look for a light source, Air is going to go and distract it. Okay, I might have spoke too soon. Momo literally grabs its lightning and throws it back at it. That knocks it down, and Era takes the time to leap in the air at it. However, whenever she gets to its position, it's disappeared. Era then lets her guard down, turning off her powers, confused. And Ken's trying to remind her, you know this thing can be invisible. Suddenly, he tells her to jump, but she isn't able to dodge and gets thrown. Era reactivates her powers. All she can see is a dust cloud. She's still trying to come to an understanding. Suddenly, this kaiju activates its beam and shoots it directly at Ira. Momo and Ken cry out Ira's name. At the same time, we see this monster headbutt its head into the building, and then it looks up to the sky and roars. As the camera hovers up to the stars, we cut back to our good friend Gigi and Pervy, who are still running. As they're running, Gigi starts to warn Pervy not to be sweating on him, and he sits there and threatens to sweat on him and snot on him. Suddenly, we see a drip of sweat hit against Gigi's skin. You know what that means. Evil Eye starts to come out, but at the same time, Gigi's fighting back and he even wins. He stops it. Gigi was so relieved that he was able to stop it, but we get to see Pervy that is sweating hard because of what he just saw, and it hits all over Gigi, resulting in the full transformation of Evil Eye. Evil Eye is just something else. Kirby is just trying to talk to him, just saving his own life. At first, he's being threatened by Evil Eye. It goes from that to asking about Ken to Momo. Then he gets excited hearing about Momo told him to go back to her house to regroup, and he thinks today's the day he gets to fight Ken. So he runs and he leaves this dude behind. Oh, wait, at least he's gonna run after him. Back into the action. Air is laying on the ground, and this monster's getting ready to go in for the final big punch on her. Momo yells out Ken, and this is where we hear going full throttle, and swoops in and saves her. Unfortunately, while he's still midair, we get to know that he used his second full throttle already. So when they come falling back down, Momo catches them with her powers. As Momo starts moving them around, Ken and Momo kind of get distracted talking about how he doesn't have any full throttles left. Suddenly, this kaiju comes over and takes both of its hands and claps between them. But similar to those water toys, the ones that are filled up and you press them in and the other side pops out, while they pop further down, luckily. There is no way the one thing I didn't call back actually hits it. So Momo is able to move both Ken and Era out of the way. Suddenly, the kaiju gets hit in the head with Pervy's backpack that Evil Eye kicked earlier on. After that, they decided to retreat all the way back home. Of course, Evil Eye is also here, and he wants to fight Ken. But today is not the day. Momo thinks of an idea. Hey, what if we asked Evil Eye to go and fight this kaiju? But Ken is highly against this. He thinks if he fights this monster, he'll end up justifying fighting something else. His next plan is to go and try to contact Momo's granny. However, she's not there. She's in a different prefecture for a TV show. Okay, if what's gonna happen is gonna happen, I'm gonna go crazy. Suddenly, we see the house start glowing, and Momo and Ken take interest in it. Cut to the kaiju moving. Suddenly, we go to Pervy. He points out and says, "It's here." With this kaiju being so close to them, Ken has an idea. We might be able to use these nano skins to defeat that kaiju. They're all inside the house. The house is shaking. The monster's coming closer and closer. What is this plan you speak of, Ken? Ken's idea is to reshape the entirety of this house all at once, but he can't think of an idea. However, unexpectedly, Purvis says, if it's an image of something big, leave it to me. And this is the big entrance. If you're talking sci-fi, I'm your guy. Then he pronounces himself, I'm Kenta Sakata. You have to see this transformation for yourself. It is insanity. Things are sliding, and everyone just kind of gets thrown in their own direction. Eventually, they all hit a trapdoor and get shot up, and they're in their own little control room. Okay, a little off note, but the creator is just insane. They even thought about incorporating the post outside as a sort of headpiece, and the name of this is Great Kenta Basatu, a Gundam-like robot. Just like most of the mech animes, you get to see them talk to each other on their screens. Apparently, Momo imagined it being Buddha-like, and Sakata was a little mad about that. Okay, we can scratch the computer name. We gotta hear from the creator. I hereby dub the Great Kenta Bodhisattva Zeta version. We end this one with a comical ending. The kaiju is coming towards them, and Momo says, how do we move this thing, as we look at its face as the funny ding plays. So here's my opinion. I think Sakata is actually a really good addition for the team. Ken is a different type of nerd. He is that like little shy guy. Sakata is one of those nerds who'll be up in your face about it and even backhand you, and I think that's good for the team. He fits in, he's creative, and he uses tech, which I think would be a cool difference between everyone else, using some sort of alien tech, maybe even getting something else, because I don't think this robot thing is going to be able to be used often, just because I feel like everyone else has to showcase their own powers. Maybe for like a arc to kind of highlight him, because that seems to be the theme so far. Is they'll have their own little individual arcs within the season, and then we move on to something else. It's yeah, it's interesting. Like the episode, and we got one more to go. So if I'm gonna rate it, I'm gonna say this is a 9-2. Really great episode. I want to know what you guys' thoughts are on Dan to Dan Season 2, Episode 11. Hope you stay safe, and until next time, peace out, guys.